When life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Or when your neighbor doesn't want you to build a coop next to the fence, even though the existing coop is next to the fence, you make a garden bed there instead, and you put a coop over there where it is far enough away from the property line that they can't see shit about it. So yeah, we're gonna build the new coop over there, which is actually better. It's got more shade, it's got a windbreak. We can potentially access the eggs better, and yeah, and this has way more sun and is a better planting spot. So yay, neighbors not liking things means that you can reassess the plan and make a better plan. So yeah, this is going to be new garden bed. Woo! That's easy, just laying out the fabric, and then I'm going to go rescue some boards from the wood pile and make a bed. Well, crappy saw, cup of coffee, just need a tape measure and a pencil, and then I'm going to cut the pieces that are too short and the sides, and then use this post for the corners and to tie the scraps together. So that guy hopefully will make all 6 cuts. If not, I have extra scrap in the pile. But yeah, it's a thing. And then I had to dump all the garbage that was in that wheelbarrow for the last like 6 months so that I could get my wheelbarrow back to clean out the chicken coop, which the reason this bed is getting made is I need to clean out the chicken coop. And because we didn't build the new coop yet, I need to get them ready for winter. So because of that, I'm making a new garden bed so that their filth has somewhere to land. Necessity is the mother of invention. When you can't find your tape measure, use the one for dressmaking. It's good enough. 8 bags of planting soil later, and she is good to go. It's not very even because the ground was all crazy, but yeah, it's okay. There's just chicken filth. You can see how the bed was layered. So hopefully that compost, well, manure, and the straw and the pine bedding in the bottom will create a little bit of a hotbed, and I'm going to plant some carrots and probably use the board method. And then other than under the board, I'm going to put wood chips on top because I bought some. So woo! All right, we'll see. Self-seed carrot seeds from spring, last year's carrots. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully these will do well outside. I was lazy, so I just kept the flower heads intact. And I'm just gonna break these up over the soil and hope that some of them make carrots. And if they don't, that's okay. It was free seed from carrots that I forgot to harvest. So we're just gonna hopefully get some food from this. And if we don't, it's okay, because it's okay. So yeah, all right, I'm just gonna keep doing that. The length of this board, flip the board over, and then pull it up in like 10 days. So 3 umbrals did all of this, and we will see. I still have a giant bag full. I have no idea what the germination rate will be on this because it's my first time trying to save seed, and a couple just went out into the bed because the wind carried them. But yeah, so we'll see. Who knows? It'll either be awesome or it'll be terrible. So I'm just gonna put the board in place and then call it a day. So that is the final bed. It is, oh god, I have no idea. I think it's like 4 meters long by 80 centimeters wide, so it's 2.5 feet wide by like 11 feet, maybe 12 feet. But yeah, and that means that I can reach to the far side of the bed, no problem. And then put carrots here and then taller things in the back. So my plan is to put lots of tall things back there. Probably my perennial tree collards and stuff. I'm trying to get smarter about the way I'm planting this year because I just put things where there are holes, and that's a mistake, which is how I have Brussels sprouts in so many inappropriate places. But yeah, the garden is coming together. This is parsley from last year that I let self-seed and just lost its mind. And so we just have parsley forever that is perennialized to the stone because it never died, which is cool. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna do a garden tour, but I think making that bed was enough. It was enough, and I need to do some stuff in here. Like, I just need to do a bunch of work. So I'm gonna go do some more work. So this was the no dig versus hugelkultur experiment. No dig, way more weeds than the hugel. I put the fabric down and the chicken manure and then planted up. I don't know if you can tell how much this bed sunk compared to this bed. It lost almost twice as much of its soil volume. So I'm going to chalk that up to the plants needing way more nutrients from here than them getting it from the chicken manure in here and sinking the bed. But yeah, but everything's still pretty happy. But I'm going to weed this out and amend the no-dig bed with some cow manure. And I don't know that I'm going to do much of anything to the hugel bed. I think I'm just going to leave it alone because it doesn't need to be topped off the way this does. And then I might put the non-woven fabric on top to try to suppress the weeds because this is just a mess. And it is full of ground elder, and short of hand picking out every other week, which I do, it is not going to stop being full of ground elder. And so for this back section, at least, I'm going to just hoe it out and then cover it with cow manure, and then I'm going to cover it with the fabric. And just tuck it in at the ends. And then the front, I think I'm going to just put some more wood chips around the base of these plants because they're big enough and established enough that I'm not worried about them getting out-competed. But I'll just do a little bit of weeding in the front and use the wood chips. And then the back, we'll do an experiment to see if that will suppress the weeds. And I'm going to pull out the nasturtium that is very, 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 very dead. So I took a shower after I finished doing all that stuff. And I did a garden tour. So I was too tired, but then I realized, oh, I'm already here. I might as well finish. So yeah, you can see all of the finished work of the beds and the garden tour. Oh, it's winter. Blueberries that still need a home. This box that's been cleaned out and prepped and could probably use some friends. The hugel bed, I just put some wood chips that I had left in the front. I've been thinning this out and giving these more space to grow. That is done now. I could probably plant some more stuff in the front section and let the back rest. That's future Lauren problems. This is kind of getting it together. We're finally getting coral bulbs. So they've been in here for like 100 days. I need to put drainage holes in those pots because we got solid rain for a week and it was too much for them to take. These beets are starting to bulb up. Strawberries are forming on my experiment. Same thing, need to put drainage holes. This has potatoes I need to harvest, which is a mistake. Brussels sprouts and a cabbage that might form ahead. I'm not hopeful. These are cabbages that I transplanted a long time ago and beets a long time ago. I'm probably going to pull these out and replace them with newer plants and top up this bucket at some point. Those are Brussels sprouts that they're just in pots. They're doing fine. My kale bed, all of this is self-seeded from this perennial kale that is 3 years old. I'm probably going to redo this bed, and the only thing I'm going to leave in is the lemon balm that can stay, but everything else we're going to harvest and eat. This guy is doing okay. There's yellow beets and a wild violet and rosemary and chives and winter salads and Chinese broccoli that are getting attacked by bugs, a kale and a carrot that got transplanted from the other bed, and dinosaur kale. And some weeds, but I'll take care of the weeds later. Oh, greenhouse. Complete and utter chaos. We still have eggplants somehow. I don't know how. The grapes are dead, but the eggplants are still alive. Nothing makes sense. I thinned this out and I'm going to replant this with salad if I remember to do that today. I have starts in the house. Those are just the starts that have gone to die. And peppers that are somehow still alive. This broccoli is enormous. We harvested the center head and now we're getting side shoots, but that is very dead broccoli leaf that needs to go to this pile of chaos outside. Fennel bulbs that are just growing in a little pot. Kohlrabi that looks like it could use some water and might actually be bulbing up, so that would be good. Yeah, just stuff getting started all over the place. Experiment sweet potato. I don't know that it will survive. Some beets. I took out the loofah yesterday because it was very, very dead. Some transplanted mint, a tomato that refuses to die with a pea and a sweet potato slip. This tomato I need to snip off and move out. But yeah, there's just stuff going on. So we're starting to get peas. We might get peas. I don't know. We'll see. We might not. This one's not looking so hot, so I'm just gonna pull off the tip and hope that it recovers. Yeah, lemons. We had lemons for dinner the other night. Another eggplant. That eggplant wasn't doing so well, so I took it out. This eggplant is doing okay, which is kind of hilarious. Peas that are starting to trail up. And these were peas for shoots, but they kind of lost their mind and I forgot to harvest them. These are my peppers that are still somehow hanging on. There are some more tomatoes down here, which is just very silly, and peas, and then a cabbage and a celeriac, and then this is a transplanted scarlet kale that I put out a long time ago. This was the cauliflower that was growing in the shadow of this big one, so my hope is now that this has gotten light and not competing with the other one, and as that dies back, this one will just grow and it'll no longer be stunted. These peas are hilarious because I did not give them any kind of structure and was hoping that we would be able to use the greenhouse, but it is not working. So I might have to get a stick or something so that this will come up to where it's supposed to be, because it's a little too heavy for this one little tendril. So, you know, there's always work to be done. My kale or my chard bed, a broccoli, a kale, some beets, a cabbage that never got it together. Those did have tomatoes. Same thing, that beet bucket. We just had so much rain and it doesn't have drainage. Purple cabbage and salads that just keep getting attacked by the birds and slugs. Another cabbage, some cabbage, and then there were yellow beets, but they have been getting outcompeted by the ground elder, and it's everywhere. So I think I'm gonna have to do the same thing to this bed that I did to the one over there, and put down the membrane on top, and then put the membrane on top and then plant through the holes in the membrane to try to suppress the ground elder, because it's just in here in a ridiculous fashion. And those were pak choy, but they got completely decimated by slugs. That is a slug's favorite meal, which doesn't surprise me, but that's okay. This cabbage is still all right, and that's more impressive, and the pak choy grows really fast, so I'm not super sad about that. It's fine. I have more going in the house. Yeah, so go back garden chickens now. That's where we're at. Okay. Oh, the weird bed. I covered it with cardboard and put some compost down underneath. And I'm just letting it rest till spring. I'll probably top it off with something else. Hi guys. Yeah. Look at all these chickens. Look how big the Swedish Blomhoners are that like to roost. They're super into it. They're really pretty. And they are enormous. And then there are teeny tiny little babies. Those are silky chicks. There's 3 of them hiding under Sam. But yeah, it's just very funny how little they are. Because they are very tiny. And those guys are freaking enormous. So that's fun. That's fun. Hi, tiny babies. I know, you're cold. You want to go inside. You should go inside. And your mom should clean the poop out your butt. Because that's the thing that's happening right now. They don't have names yet. They're too small. Yeah. Hi, chickens. Hello. Look how big she is. Red is enormous. Hi, Red. And I'm trying to figure out if Red is a rooster. Because Red might be a rooster. It's really hard to tell. They're not old enough yet. And this is our first time with Swedish Blomhoners. But it's hilarious how big she is compared to her mom. Because Aragorn is her mom. And Aragorn is so small compared to that baby chicken. Oh, yeah. They're gorgeous, but ridiculous how big they are. And this is why we need to build another coop. Hey. Hey, gorgeous lady. Or sir. Mister. Maybe. Not sure. Very not sure. Well, the Swedish Blomhoners are now like their own little subculture. Which, that's fun. Oh. Yeah, I can't tell if she's a rooster or a hen. I think she's a hen. I don't think she's a rooster, but it's really too hard to tell until they're fully mature. The tail feathers are starting to get too pretty, which makes me think maybe rooster. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Alright. And I just cleaned out the coop, so that's good. Oh. Locking the gate so the dogs don't get in here when the dogs get in here. Oh. Oop. Being drunk and dropping my phone. Yeah. So Brussels sprouts, peas, Brussels sprouts, onions, some random garlic that got transplanted out, leeks, my garlic bed, my mystery crazy bed. There's a red Russian kale in here. I think a cabbage, another cabbage, some radishes. I put some beets in here, but most of them didn't germinate. There's a lot of weeds, and this is the accidental mushroom farm. So I'm just letting it do its thing, and I'm going to weed it out and probably take everything out of this at some point. Harvest everything except for the cabbages and the kale, and replenish the bed and replant it. This is my Chinese cabbage, which I've been harvesting. Lots of bug damage, but what is salvageable is very tasty. There's also Swedes and kohlrabi in here, but they are all small and stunted and overcrowded, and there's grass, and eventually I will do the same thing, that I will fix it up, I'll clear it out, we'll eat what we can and throw the rest away. Parsnips and carrots and peas, and we've been eating out of this bed and just harvesting the young baby carrots and parsnips. Brussels sprouts. Moved my crazy cabbage over here, and it is setting off all these little baby cabbages. Every time I harvest a head, it makes a bunch around it in a rosette. So yeah, we just have a bonkers banana pants amount of cabbages, because that was the original, and then it had set off all these side shoots, and it had set off 2 of the shoots already when I went to harvest the main, which is why I let this stay and do what it is doing. So we just keep getting these little, like, tennis ball, softball size cabbages off of this one. And so I'm just letting it keep doing its thing and set more cabbages and harvesting them and eating them. And the little ones are actually kind of cool. They're like the perfect amount for a meal for the 2 of us. So yeah, this was my starts that just got abandoned because they were damaged. And now some of them actually look better than the stuff that's growing out there, which is hilarious. I'm just pretending that none of this is happening. What are you? You're kohlrabi. Yeah, just kohlrabi and Swedes that used to not look good, and now they're like weirdly, I feel like I probably should have given them a chance to live somewhere else. So I don't know, maybe I will do something with that. Those are onions that I let seed, and a Hello Kitty ball because my kids. And we moved the compost over here. Strawberry bed is there. It should be fine. It might be completely waterlogged because of all of the rain. My pear tree has gone dormant. My blackberries and my tayberries are going dormant. And the new bed is the new bed. I just built this today, and there are carrots seeded underneath that board, and I'll pull it off a week and a half and see if anything's germinated. And the carrots are self-sowed, and as you can tell, I did not put enough structure here, so this is bowing a little bit, but it's fine. It'll be fine. It's not noticeable unless you have the board there to tell you it's not true, but it'll be good. And this is just a bed that I made today, and the only thing that cost me money was some soil that I got from the recycling center. Everything else was just stuff that I found around the house, including the screws. So that'll be hilarious. But yeah, the boards were just left over from the construction project. Filled the bottom with chicken manure, as you can see coming up there. Had some extra fabric cloth and some extra of the bark, just the mulch from the front garden. So yeah, this is like another, what did I say, 12 by 20, like another 40 planting spaces potentially. I think that's the math. I'm not good at square foot gardening yet. I normally just throw things in and hope for the best, which I'm trying to get better about, not just hoping for the best and doing stuff on purpose, because it doesn't always work. But this used to be my very wild garden, and then it's gotten much more structured, which is good because it means we can be a little bit more purposeful. And yeah, so it's getting more structured as it goes, and it's kind of cool, and I do not dislike that. But yeah, this is the chaos, and it's been super cold and stormy, and this is the best weather that we have had in like 2 weeks, so I built that.